Hello, parents of class of 2021. I'm Mrs. Munoz. I, along with my colleagues Mr. Ramirez, Mrs. Morden, and Mrs. Saxon, would like to share some important information with you that we share with your students, our senior class, to help prepare them for post-secondary education and options that they have after high school. Planning for your future. These are conversations that we have with our students. Some of them have been already in process since freshman year. Some of them will happen once we meet with them for their senior student guidance lesson. So we talk to them about maintaining a challenging schedule to include A through G classes, math, science, and foreign language classes. We meet with college admissions representatives from various colleges, universities. Something that they stress is for students to do a fourth year math, science, and a foreign language. It prepares them for their freshman year in college. Now, the A through G classes, students need A through G classes to be able to apply to a CSU UC university. We also advise them that if it's possible, take an honors course, take an advanced placement course, a dual enrollment course. What is a dual enrollment course? A dual enrollment course is a college course that is given on our campus by our teachers. So we advise students that, hey, if it's possible, try to take one of those courses. We also advise our students to get and stay involved in school clubs, athletics, leadership, volunteer opportunities. So, Club Rush is going to be coming up soon. I believe Mrs. Morden will give you a little bit more information on school clubs and our athletic opportunities. But with our Club Rush, is our school clubs will be putting out the information on how students join our clubs. So we are doing the clubs virtually. We talk to your students about SAT, ACT. However, the conversation will look different this year. This year, the CSUs and the UCs are going test blind. And what that means is that they will no longer require SAT, ACT scores for admissions. Now, if you do happen to turn in SAT, ACT score, the only use that they may have for them is for English and math placement, not for admissions. We ask our students to create a college list. Within that list, they should be looking at admissions requirements, meaning, some students may want to go out of state. And what does that mean to go out of state and the admissions for that school? It may not be the same as it is for Cal State University San Bernardino. So we do ask the student whether, even if it is a state school or even a private within the state of California, that they still look at the admissions requirement for that school to make sure that they're going to be able to meet those requirements to apply. We also ask them to think of a major or to look up the different majors that they may be interested in and kind of narrow down that major. Why? Because if they're interested in specific campuses and in a certain major, those may not match up. Schools don't have all the majors out there, so it would be trying to kind of figure out the major to the school and if it's available. We also ask them, if a support program is important for them. Usually the CSUs have what's called Equal Opportunity Program, which is EOP, and it's for first generation college student. If that's important for them to find the different connection through support programs, to look at the different support programs that the universities are able to provide them. Also, we ask them to look at campus and class size. Are they looking for a smaller class size? Are they looking for a small campus, a large campus? Are they going to be okay in a class of, 110 students in a lecture hall, or are they looking for something smaller than that? Those may be factors on deciding where and when, a student applies to what school it is. So, and the location, like I said, do they want to be out of state? Do they want to be in a rural area? Do they want to be in the city? That's also a factor to a lot of students, narrowing down what schools are going to go on their college list. we advise them to do college fairs. So now we have virtual college fairs, and I will be giving information to a virtual college fair towards the end of this presentation. But we recommend that they do college fairs to see what schools are out there, and be able to connect with their admissions counselors or their admissions representative. Also, do virtual campus tours. Check out that school. Like I said, check out to see what majors are on that campus. What does that campus look like? Is it a big campus? Is it a small campus? What type of support programs does that campus offer? And some of these questions can be answered through CCGI. That's a California College Guidance Initiative. And Mrs. Sexton will touch on that a little bit more later in the presentation. We also have what's called a College and Career Guest Speaker Series, which we just had a speaker last week for Cal Baptist. It's a private university in the Riverside area. We do have students that tend to go to CBU. And so he did a presentation last week, answered the students' questions, gave them their admissions requirement, information on their campus, their class size. And so we do have speakers that come and give out information. So please encourage your students to attend, especially if they're interested in various colleges, that they may want to connect with that representative and be able to ask questions. We have October 13th and 15th, California State University San Bernardino, the Palm Desert campus will be presenting. They will be talking about their campus, highlighting their campus, as well as doing college applications with the students. So that college application season is right around the corner. So if your student is interested in Cal State San Bernardino or even a CSU, tell them to check out the College and Career Guest Speaker Series, CSUSB, that will be October 13th and 15th.
Hello, my name is Manny Ramirez, and I am the school counselor for students LOR through Rich. Something I'd like to talk to you a little bit about is the differences between high school graduation requirements and the E through G requirements. So we'll start with our high school graduation requirements. Students need to earn a minimum of 220 credits, and students earn credits by earning a letter grade of D or higher in their courses. They need 30 for history and social sciences, 40 for English, 30 for math, 20 for science, and that's 10 in a life science and 10 in a physical science, 10 for art or a foreign language, 20 for PE, and then 70 for elective credits. The E through G requirements are similar, but they do differ a bit, and we use our E through G requirements to determine eligibility for entry into a Cal State school or a UC school. And students need to earn a C or better in these courses. They need 2 years of a history and social science, 40 for English, 30 for math, but 4 are recommended, 2 for lab science, 2 for a foreign language, 1 for a visual and performing art, and then 1 for a college prep elective. So again, students need to earn a C or better in these courses. And one thing we do as counselors, and we're going to be meeting with our students very soon. So your students are going to be receiving invites from us and hearing about setting up a time to go over their high school transcript. And we call this a senior evaluation. So what we do as counselors is we sit with them and we discuss not only are they meeting their high school graduation requirements, but their E through G requirements. So some students may be retaking courses either to fulfill their high school graduation requirements or their E through G requirements for both. So during this portion, when we meet with students, we also talk about their post-high school goals. So we definitely try to talk to them about four-year university applications, workshops that we have coming up, financial aid, and of course, like I said, are you meeting both high school graduation requirements and E through G? So students will be hearing from us very soon. And we're going to be sending out a Google form for them to fill out along with you. And in that form, we really need it to order their high school diploma. There's going to be a section that allows them to enter their name the way they want it to appear on their high school diploma. So please look out for that very soon. So because we're talking about high school graduation requirements in E through G, and their post-high school goals, let's talk about the CSU system. So students have the opportunity to go to 23 different campuses across the state of California. These campuses offer 4-year degree programs, so they're able to earn a bachelor's degree, and then their master's, and some offer doctoral programs. The application period is approaching very quickly. It opens up October 1st, and this year they're extending it just a little bit to December 4th. Now, students need to have a minimum GPA of a 2.0, but we highly encourage students to strive for a higher GPA than that. And we need to make sure that they are meeting their A through G courses with a C or better. And this year, universities will be looking at their SAT and ACT test scores for English and math. So I know we get a lot of questions, should I be taking those? And so if you have those, it would be good for you to report them so that they can use them for those purposes. Another university system in the state of California is the UC system, the University of California system. There are 10 UC campuses, but 9 for undergrads. So they're, again, able to earn a 4-year degree, their bachelor's, along with master's and a doctoral, if they choose to proceed to that level. The minimum GPA is higher in a UC. It's a 3.0. SAT and ACT scores, again, could be used for course placements for English and math. A through G classes need to be met with C's or better. And there are some differences in the application from the UC and Cal State. Now, in the UC system, they have what they call personal insight questions, and they have 8 of them. And students will get to write, choose 4 and answer those 4 for their application. It doesn't matter which 4, it's just whatever they choose, and they just write to the best of their ability to really sell themselves as the best candidate for their school. They also will have the opportunity to include their extracurricular activities that they've been a part of throughout high school. And so the application period for that is open between November 1st and November 30th. If you have any questions, please reach out to your counselor, and we'll reach out to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hello, Shadow Hills High School parents of a senior. Congratulations on you and your child venturing into this very exciting time of their lives. My name is Lou Sexton, and I am the counselor for RIL through Z. And it is my pleasure to bring to you these next 3 slides, beginning with California Community College System. 116 colleges in California. How lucky are we to have one of the best college systems in the world, if not the best, here in our very own state. And your child can achieve their college dreams without having to leave the state if that's what you and they both want. The nice thing, there are a lot of nice things about community colleges. One of them is there are no application fees. The next thing that's great about them is you just have to graduated from high school or be 18 years or older, which means anybody can access community college, and that is a wonderful thing. Now, you cannot attend for 4 years a community college and achieve a bachelor's degree, but you can attend and achieve a 2-year certificate. And when I go on to, for example, College of the Desert's website, and then I click on course catalog, and then I put in my search bar certificates, I see that COD has a wealth of certificates from emergency medical services to field ranger certificate, desert ecologist certificate, zero net energy certificate, and those are just a few, which can lead to starting a career within 2 years, if not sooner. The other thing you can earn is your associate's degree, an AA. But there's also a third option. And the third option is to get 2 years of your general ed requirements that you need for your 4-year degree, to get them done at a community college like COD, and then transfer to a Cal State or a UC. And COD knows exactly how to do that. And every year they are getting our kids from the Valley to Cal States and to UCs, and they have created great partnerships. The other fantastic thing about COD, and I don't know if you know this, but COD is ranked among the top community colleges in the country because of all of the services that they've incorporated, ensuring student success. And one of their fantastic programs is the Pledge Edge program, where you complete the FAFSA, graduate from one of our high schools in the Valley, and then sign up for 2 courses over the summer that get you ready for college. And then you can attend COD for 2 years for free. Now, you're not going to get a better deal than free, and that's a tremendous opportunity. And you can imagine how much enrollment has gone up in COD because of this great program, along with several others that they have. So the drawback can be to that students don't get all the classes they want in the time that they wanted them. So that'll be an important discussion for you to have as a family. Is it worth it? Is it still worth it to you? And the answer may be yes. The answer may be no. There is no right or wrong. There's no wrong answer. It's whatever is right for your family and your situation. Next, I want to talk a little bit about private and out-of-state colleges. 4-year universities offer bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and doctoral programs. They have different deadlines. Sometimes they have rolling deadlines because they can be universities that accept students throughout the year in the hopes of increasing their enrollment. I know that I have contacted those universities personally, and for my daughter, we were able to obtain free applications and have fees waived, the application fee, and that can be anywhere from $35 to $45 a college, so that's a nice savings. They do require letters of recommendation. I haven't seen a private university yet that doesn't require 1, 2, possibly 3 letters of recommendation, which are really easy for your student to get. They can get them from teachers, from their counselor, from an administrator, from someone in the community that knows them well and has been working with them, from a coach. So there are a lot of people for them to choose from. They also private universities like to use the Common App. Not all of them, but the ones that I've encountered do. And you'll see here this www.commonapp.org is a hyperlink for you to be able to go straight to and start the Common App application, which is really nice because instead of doing an application for every single college, and what if your child is applying to 10 private schools? It's one application, which is a huge time saver and a great stress reducer, because even though this is a very exciting time for the family, it can also be very stressful because it feels so big, right? Another option we want you to know about is the WUI. That's how they say it. Western Undergraduate Exchange. And this is a tremendous opportunity for students who really are looking at a program that is excellent out of state. Let's say your child is very interested in forestry. Therefore, they want to go to Oregon because Oregon has wonderful forestry programs, given the nature of the state, right? Well, Oregon, along with several other states throughout the country, offer for California residents in-state tuition, which is a huge reduction in cost because they want California students that badly. And one of our students said, it's because we're so awesome. And it's true, because we are so awesome. Our kids are so awesome. And a hyperlink has also been created here for you. And it doesn't look like WUI. It stands for Western Interstate Commission for Higher Education. But when you click on this hyperlink and go to their website, click on in the bar tuition savings, and as soon as you click on tuition savings, right below that it says for undergraduates, WUE, W-U-E. That's where you would go to start looking into savings for tuition. And that's a tremendous opportunity, isn't it? We all want to save on tuition. The last slide I want to go over with you is California Colleges Guidance Initiative. We call it CCGI. And this is a website that is incredibly extensive. And every student in Desert Sands has access to this website and their own account at no charge. And you as the parent can go on the account with your child and explore anything and everything you wanted to know about colleges in the state, in the country, around the world, and careers and majors that are connected. There are tools that your child can take, inventory tools, where they can find out what strengths they have, what areas of interest they have. Then they can look up careers. They can find out what starting salaries are, what median salaries are. They can find out if this is a career that's actually flourishing or declining. They can look and see what states it's actually flourishing in. For example, the other day I was roaming around on the website and I looked up psychologists. Well, if you want to be a psychologist in California, it's flourishing. If you want to go to Texas and be a psychologist, it's on the decline and a job would be difficult to find. These are all really interesting things to know as you and your child start making plans for their future. We want to encourage you to sit with them, and instead of doing some TV time, do some CCGI time together and really start creating a picture, a vision, and a plan for what your child is going to do, not just this upcoming year or the year after or 4 years from now, but really start looking at a 6-8-year plan that will take them through their young adulthood and give them a sense of being grounded and a map for a future that is so exciting. It's been my pleasure to share these 3 slides with you. And again, I am Lou Sexton, and I am the counselor from RIL to Z. Good luck, parents. We are here for you.
Hi, another post-secondary option would be military. It offers excellent career training programs. You can earn credits while you're enlisted. Also, there's a GI Bill or tuition assistance benefits to help pay for education. So once you have enlisted, you can take classes while you are in the military that they will pay for, but also they will pay for classes after your service is done. There's also an opportunity for students to go to college first, and there is an ROTC scholarship. So the students would go and complete their undergraduate degree, and then they would owe their time in the various branches of military. And there are 5 branches. It's Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. We do have opportunities for our recruiters to come on campus when we are on campus, and they pull the students out and talk to them about their options. Student athletes. This is probably one of the topics that we get the most questions about. If your student is an athlete and wishes to continue playing at college or university at Division I or Division II, they would need to register for the NCAA.
So they can go to www.ncaa.org to register to play. If they do not register, they will not be able to play at college in the Division I and Division II. If your student is going to a Division III college, you do not have to register, but it's still a good idea to get that taken care of. Those are schools that tend to be smaller schools, and their emphasis is on being a student first that gets to play athletics. So, and those colleges, they do not receive scholarships to play at Division III colleges for athletics, but you can get lots of scholarships at Division III schools for academics and so forth. So there are some small schools that they have made another division, or an NAIA school, which is a smaller school. And there is also an eligibility center for those as well. It's NAIA. So you might want to register for both the NCAA and the NAIA in order to play athletics if you don't know where you're going to school yet. And it is really a good idea if your senior has not registered to do that today or this week. So you have homework for me, athletes. You need to get registered. I did look to see how many of our students are registered, and we only have a handful. So if this is something that your student athlete wants to continue or to pursue in college, you want to make sure to get that done this week. There are also a few waivers available. So if your student is on free or reduced lunch, have them register with the NCAA, and then they can let their counselor know that they need a fee waiver. But that's only after they have registered. So if you have any questions about that, you can contact your counselor. And now I want to hand it back over to Mrs. Griselda Munoz to continue with the program.
Okay, parents, let's talk about financial aid. So there's three types of financial aid. There's free, earned, and borrowed. So with free financial aid, there's grants and scholarships. So we generally help your student apply, and hopefully they're eligible to receive grants. So there's two types of grants. There's a Pell Grant and there's a Cal Grant. So the Pell Grant is a federal grant that if your student is eligible, they do not have to pay back. Then there's the Cal Grant, and that's a California grant. And if they're eligible, they do not pay that back either. And then there's scholarships. You never pay back scholarships. Then there's earned financial aid. So if the student happens to be on a campus that offers work study, because not all campuses offer work study, and if they're eligible for work study, then basically they'd be holding a part-time or a full-time job on or off campus. It's going to help them earn money for their educational expenses. Then there's borrowed financial aid, subsidized, unsubsidized, and Parent Plus. The subsidized loan is basically when your student is in school, the federal government is paying the interest on that loan. And then the unsubsidized is as soon as you take that loan out, the interest starts accruing. And then there's the Parent Plus loan. So these are loans available to parents that you are able to help with your students' education expenses. So where do you apply for these? So you apply to either www.fasa.gov or www.dreamact.org. So one website, the fasa.gov website, is for students that are citizens of the United States. And the dreamact.org website is for students that are undocumented. So when using these websites, they basically kind of work as a hub. While you're applying, they're going to be looking at the grant, the work study, and loans. So the difference, though, for my DreamAct student, that is only looking for the grants that are available in the state of California. So basically, with my students that are applying to FAFSA, they are also eligible to not only look for the California Cal Grant, but also for the Pell Grant, which is a federal grant, like I stated before. Now, we will be holding workshops to help support your student in filling out their application to receive financial aid, and as well as parent workshops. So those dates are to be determined, and we will be emailing your student and emailing you parents as well, and also posting on our class of 2021 classroom the workshop dates. So the application window opens October 1st and it ends March 2nd. It is crucial that you get it in before March 2nd, because if you're looking to be eligible for the Cal Grant, that needs to be in by March 2nd. You cannot go past that date. Okay. And so I have parents that say, well, I'm not going to apply because we make too much money. You need to apply. You never know. So what happens is universities pull this information and they may award your student institutional money. So different from like the Cal Grant and the Pell Grant, it's institutional money just from that school based on not financial need, but based on student merit. But however, they will pull that information from the FAFSA to see about awarding. So that's why it's important that you fill out the financial aid, whether you think you qualify or not, you never know. Also too, with the Cal Grant, there is what's called a middle class scholarship. So basically, if your student's going to go to a UCCSU, you may be eligible for the middle class scholarship, and that basically you can have income and assets up to 184,000. And if you're eligible, you may be eligible to receive a reduction of tuition and fees of 10% or 40%. So you won't know unless you apply. So I encourage to all of you, please apply, because you never know. And also there is scholarships as well, that some of the requirements, or one of the requirement, is for you to turn in your application to either one of these websites. So I know Mrs. Sexton talked earlier about the COD Pledge Program. So basically the COD Pledge Program has 2 years free tuition. So regardless if your income is 184,000 or zero, they want you to fill out your FAFSA application. That is part of the requirement in order to be able to move ahead and look at the other stipulations to it to award your student the 2 years of free tuition. So this is one of those times where it doesn't matter, but you still need to fill it out. So please, I encourage, fill out the information. Now, when we do have these workshops, we will be needing to use your tax information from the year before. So, it is sensitive information. Please know that it stays with this workshop, with the application. It goes nowhere else. However, if you want to be part of a workshop and work with us, great. If not, if you'd like to do a one-on-one, please let us know as well. Or you can do it at home with your student. And if you happen to, come across a hurdle, just save the application and email us, and we'll get back to you and try to support you with where you're at the application. But please, I do encourage everybody to apply, because you never know. Scholarships. So with scholarships, there's scholarships that are available at local, state, and national levels. They all have various requirements. Some of them, you may have to write an essay to. Some of them you may have to turn in transcripts. So it may vary what the requirements are, and definitely the deadlines vary as well too. And there's college and university scholarships. So like I said prior in the slide before, was that if you fill out your FAFSA information, there's grants and scholarships that are just institutional, having nothing to do with the government ones, but just that school, and they pull from that financial aid application. So that's why it's important to also fill that out. And then there's employer and church scholarships. Check with your employer, see if your employer has scholarships. We also have information on our website. Actually, in our class of 2021, I've just uploaded some scholarships for students to take a look at and start applying to. So I encourage them to keep checking back to see if I posted new scholarships. So with that too, the students are going to be asked to complete what's called a senior scholarship portfolio. And it is going to be due the Friday before the 31st. So I apologize for the date that's on the slide, but it's the Friday before the 31st in January 2021. So basically, that portfolio is going to be turned electronically. In the past years, we've had them actually turn in a actual physical portfolio portfolio, but this upcoming portfolio will be digital. And so what happens is that I'm in communication with different sponsors that are sponsoring scholarships, and they will take a look at that scholarship, and based on the information that's in that portfolio, they determine if that student qualifies for the scholarship that they're going to be donating for our Shadow Hills students. And then I've added here some online scholarship searches. There's FastWeb, scholarships.com, finaid.org. So basically with some of these, like for example, with FastWeb, you will create an account and basically put in your information that is specific to you. So the scholarships that will be sent to you, the email that's provided, are tailored to the information that you've put into your application for that website. So you won't get scholarships that maybe you aren't eligible for, or not in the field that you're studying. So if you're looking to go into nursing, you're going to get scholarships based on nursing and not scholarships based on being an engineer. So I encourage you all to encourage your student to also not apply, but create accounts to these websites so they can start looking at scholarships on their own as well too. With that said, as far as scholarships, a lot of the times the requirements are essays. So there's going to be a college and scholarship essay initiative. It's a workshop that is September 23rd, September 24th. It's through Riverside County. I encourage your students to participate in that workshop to help their essays be strong when they're applying to the university, because the university also has the personal insight questions, which I believe Mr. Ramirez spoke about in the prior slides. And then also when they're applying for scholarships, like I said, some of those scholarships require essays. So for a good, solid, strong essay, I encourage students to participate in this workshop. I talked about earlier having students visit virtual college fairs. Here's some information on a virtual college fair. I encourage student and parent to participate in the virtual college fair. So these are some frequently asked questions that we get. So number one is, are the UCs and CSUs requiring SAT, ACT scores for admission? So I believe I touched on this at the beginning of the presentation. So right now, the UCs and CSUs are test blind, meaning they will not be requiring those scores for admissions. If you turn in scores with your application, what they would use those scores, if you do turn them in, would be to helping decipher English and math placement. Now, I would encourage that if your student's applying to a private school, an out-of-state school, that they still look up to see if they're requiring SAT, ACT scores, because I'm just talking about the UCs and CSUs being test blind right now. Okay, so question number 2, what are post-secondary options in our area to help keep costs down? So I know Mrs. Sexton talked about COD and their pledge program. That is a very, very popular program because it's 2 years free tuition. So regardless of your income, as long as you meet the stipulations to the application and you participate in the EDGE program during the summer, you get 2 years free tuition. And then the other option that there is in our area is CSUSB, the Palm Desert campus. So that is also another option that is in our area. Sorry. Okay. Number 3, should my student go to COD and complete an AA? Well, that's basically that's based on your family and the need. So if your student needs to stay at home for the time being and needs to take advantage of the COD pledge program, then by all means, please, then yes, have your student stay and complete an AA or transfer to the university. But that is a family decision for the students staying at COD and transferring or completing an AA. I mean, right now with the 2-year free tuition, I mean, that might be something you definitely might want to look into. And number 4, why should my student have a full schedule? And I believe I touched on this earlier as well too. So when we attend conferences and meetings, we talk to college representatives, college admissions counselors, and so what they're saying is that students should have a full schedule, regardless if they're an athlete or regardless what they may be involved in, to try to have that full schedule, because a lot of times students will not want to take a math, or maybe not want to take a foreign language, or even a science. And so when they get to their freshman year of college, sometimes they lack the skill that they may have learned in that senior year class, and they may start at a remedial level their freshman year. So they always advocate for our students to take a full schedule their senior year so they can keep learning those skills they need for their freshman year in college. So, how can I stay involved and receive information that is helpful to me and my student? So we have what's called as a parent university. And so basically what parent university does, they talk about different topics throughout the year. The topic that is going to be coming up soon is all about college. So you're going to have representatives from COT, CSUSB, Grand Canyon University, UCR, and some of our career technical education advisors. So throughout the year, there will be different topics that will be available to you and to your student to take advantage of. So I highly encourage you guys doing Parent University. And like I said, the one that's coming up is All Things College and Career Night. And it's going to be Thursday, October 8th from 5:30 to 6:30. Does advanced placement AP give students automatic college credits? No, it doesn't give automatic college credits. However, if your student is taking an AP class, basically that class is building up to take the AP exam. Now, when your student takes the exam, the hope is for the student to get a passing score, which a passing score is anywhere from a 3, 4, and to a 5. So depending on where they may want to go, they may need to look at what that university's AP policy is. So if the policy indicates that they may receive elective credit while earning a 3 on the test of that subject, then that's what they deem. But they need to make sure that they check that policy to see if what score they may need to score, a 3, 4, or 5. And then what does that college credit look like? So, and then for students that are in the AP classes, what resources are available for the student who's taking that AP class? So right now, the resources that are available to help support the students with the course content and to be successful is on College Board. There is the AP Classroom that they can sign into and receive that support. And also the UCs have AP readiness workshops as well too. So I encourage you to encourage your student to sign up for both or one or the other in order to help them with the course content so they can be successful when they take the AP exam. So let's see. Question number 8. What is EOP and / EOPS? Okay, so basically I touched on that before a little bit as well too. So it's the Equal Opportunity Program. So basically what it is for students that are low income first generation. And what we mean by first generations is parents who have not completed a 4-year degree. And so what EOP provides is comprehensive services to enable the student to have academic success and to be able to graduate. Now you can find EOP at all the CSUs, EOPS at community colleges, and then some of the UCs have EOP. Now, what are other support programs that are available on campuses? So you have support programs like Students with Disabilities. So please don't ever be discouraged if your student is a student with a disability, because campuses have these offices on their campus. So they do have programs for students with disabilities. They have programs for current or former foster youth, undocumented students, transfer students, mental health and wellness. So there's an abundance of different resources and support programs that are on campuses to help your students. And number 10, can my student potentially qualify for more than one scholarship and or grant? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So just because they may have gotten a Pell Grant doesn't mean they can't apply to scholarships. So yes, please apply to all of it. The more the merrier. That's your goal, is to be able to, get all the money that you are eligible in. Sometimes students will say, well, I already got, financial aid as far as, the FAFSA fund, the Cal Grant, but, $500 from a scholarship doesn't hurt. So yes, they can. They are eligible for more than one. So please encourage them to apply. So this concludes our senior parent presentation. I know there was a lot of information that was given. Please, if you need any clarification, if you have more questions, please reach out to us. And we'd be more than happy to have that conversation with you and answer all your questions. Okay, I thank you, and remember, Knights do it right.